Okay. So, okay, I'm actually looking at the blueprints right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't seem to find the generic responses that you mentioned.
So on virtual staging, there's under blueprints, there's something called queries, generic responses.
Oh, okay. I see now. It's query.
I'm just trying to see if we've got the updated version because we did change the prices. So I just want to make sure you've got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think if it's like a non-specific inquiry and then a sort of normal inquiry,
Mm-hmm.
um, in the description we've got like a bit of a template that you can use.
Yeah, including the so we have to include the pricing on the inquiry for this client.
Yeah. Well, it depends how. Sorry, I'm just reading the next one. Yeah, it depends on what I usually take a view for how they've messaged. A lot of the time they say, "Can you put the prices in?" Blah blah blah. So you might want to do this in two. You could, but you use that as a template. So you could use like the first paragraph, um, where it says that you usually sent the agent's professional images over, and then you could tag on to the end of that. Unfortunately, we don't do the photography of the rooms. We just handle the virtual staging once the photographs have been done. But like we said before, typically agents do help with that. If you're not using an agent, phone cameras usually produce really good quality photos anyway these days. So if you want to do it yourself,
Mm.
let me know and give you some hints and tips on how to take some nice photographs.
Oh, all right.
Um,
Okay. So,
what do I need to, sorry, just before I move on, so what do I need to provide?
so I think you have to check first the pricing for the auto reply email. Then let me know if we could use this email template for
It's fine. I've just checked it in the background. Those are the
uh,
right prices,
all
so
right.
those are good to
Okay.
go. But if you just draft
Okay.
me a response, I can sense check it before we go to make sure we're getting information from the right bits.
All right. Okay, maybe I will send you an email, the email later on after
Yes,
this
that'd be
training
brilliant.
on Slack.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then what we would tend to do, so we did have a system in place, but then we had some people move on, and I've not been doing it myself because I know where I am with the orders. But when there's like more than one of us, I just share my screen. I don't know if you've come across it in the training guides as yet, but we've
Mm-hmm.
got something called virtual staging orders. And if you go onto this page, um, and look at it like a board, find board views is just a little bit easier to understand. It's a bit like a Kanban board. So what
Okay.
I would do is, for example, if there's anything in the pipeline, that's it. I would add as a new person into the pipeline who is a potential order, and we can keep a track of this. And then if we don't hear anything back in a few days, we could follow it up and just be like, oh, just wanted to see how you're getting on. Did you need any help with this? And see if we can try and convert it into a sale rather than just letting it go to a cold lead. So I would put it into here, and then as we move across, this is sort of the order process as well. So, for example, these are all ones we've sorted out, so I can move these across. But so then, say Shuri emails, we've added him to the system, and then he sends us some images. We can quality check it and say they're okay. Then we can try and make him sort of pay. So we'd guide him to the website, or we'd send him an invoice link. When you have got it, you would put it into InDesign, so I know you're dealing with it and you're sort of creating the requirements document. And then it's going to sort of move on to senior reviews. So that's with me. So I will sense check your design requirements document to begin with to make sure I'm happy with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we go to the designer, we'll put it into with designer. So they'll have it for like a day or two. So if we know it's with them, we just know we just need to sit back and wait for them to come back. Um, if it comes back and we're not quite happy with it, it might go to an amendments. So back with the designer to do some checks and some slight changes. If not, it could be that you go straight to the client and we send it off for approval.
Okay. All right.
And then, yeah, but then basically at the end, last little bits are really just to sort of say, once it's all done and dusted, after a few days, we'll just, when they've emailed and said, oh, thanks for sending them over, it could be a good opportunity to sort of say, oh, dare I be so bold just to ask for a review so I can show others what we do. Most times they'll send you something back in if it's just a couple of words. But I do want to have a look at that review bit to whether we say, if they say, for example, really loved it, we could then sort of maybe write a response for them and just sort of say, like, almost rewrite what they've said using their words and then email them and just say, would it be okay if I put this review onto the website? Or if you want us to change the words, let me know and we can do it that way. So I think we just need to have a think about that. It's not one for today, but just one to sort of maybe write down and have a think of in the coming weeks. So yeah, could you basically add, these are all done. So I think I'm going to move these to complete because we have done all these. So you can start off with a bit of a clean sheet. So don't think they ever did order. So I'm just going to move those to cold leads. Right. Oh, sorry, what I would do as well. So for example, when we get to the senior review bit, what I would do is make sure that you assign me to it. So if you just, so I get a notification that I've got something to go have a look at. Otherwise, just keep it as yourself.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, once you've done the email today for sure, could you add him into our virtual staging orders like pipeline, please, so then we can start tracking new customers that are coming across to us to ask us questions.
Okay.
Brilliant, thank you. Did you have any questions about that? Sorry, I realized I just spoke at you for 10 minutes there.
All right. Let me put that on note first. Okay. Okay, one moment.
Would it be possible as well just to add I think in Google Drive somewhere where I'll have sent you some information. I think there's some training videos in there, isn't there?
Yes. Actually, I already watched it yesterday.
Yeah,
So regarding your the 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 requirements document and the social media branding that you
yeah.
have.
Could you save this recording onto there and then just to sort of say and then title it around like virtual staging orders,
Okay.
like the process or something, just so we can save that little overview into this video so it's there for future reference as well, please.
All right. So I have a questions regarding the new order. Since it's still an inquiry, right? So we are waiting for the client to order through the website. So
Yeah.
once the client have submitted an order, I will be notified in the in my webmail, right, that the order has been placed already.
Typically how it normally works is this person's coming cold, or like I've not spoken to them before, I don't know who it is. They're going to ask some questions. Oh, sorry.
Mm.
They're going to ask some questions, and we'll get back to them. And it could be that it's just not for them. Maybe the price isn't right, or they want someone who does the photography as well, for example. So it might not work and they might not order. So we could put it onto the system as it's something in the pipeline for them to not order. So that's why I want to make a note of when they did email, and then in a few days we can chase them up if they haven't replied to sort of say, did you get all the information you wanted? Do you need help with anything? Have you got a project in the pipeline that you need help with? Because we want to try and encourage them to order.
Okay.
Now, typically, they wouldn't then just go straight onto the website and order. They would usually still talk to us for a little bit. They usually have quite a few questions. So they might then start talking about the design and what we can do with that. So we would talk about the pre-design, we could talk about the bespoke options. And then we'll try and get a feel for what their project is. So then we can sort of say, how many photographs is it that you're wanting to do? Or how many rooms have you got that you want to virtually stage? So we're getting some more information out of them. And then usually at the very end, we'll be like, okay, that's great. We've got all the images. If you're wanting to order the pre-designed, you can just go onto the website now and place the order. You pick all the options you want. We'll keep an eye out for the order coming in. And once we've got it, we'll aim to turn them around within 3 working days. And then so it's not an out of the blue order usually. It's very rare we get something that just comes on the website without us having quite a big discussion with them. So if Sherit does order, there's probably going to be a bit of backwards and forwards conversation, and you'll know and probably guide them to the website, and be very much expecting an order.
Okay. So for the order, once they have successfully submitted, it should be processed within the next 3 working days, right? As you mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. So say if you emailed now and they ordered within the next hour, we would want it to be with the designer that same day. So I think the designer's in Vietnam. So they're also working ahead of us. So if we get it to them in the afternoon, they usually say, right, well, we'll start in the morning. So usually the first day is for us to create a design requirement. In the afternoon, I'll sense check what you've done. We'll then send a payment and an email to the designer. He usually replies and says, right, we'll get on that tomorrow. So then the next working day, the designer will work on the order for us. They might get it back to us that day, but sometimes it's the day after. We'll sense check it when it comes in. If there's any issues, we'll send it straight back to the designer with an amendments document, just to sort of highlight any of the issues we've seen or needs tweaking. And again, usually that either the same day or the next day, it will come back to us. So within that, usually the client's either got it potentially 24 hours after ordering because we've got it in the same day to the designer and the designer sent it back the very next day. So that could be basically within 24, 36 hours of the client ordering, it could be back with them. But certainly within 3 working days, it needs to have gone from us to the designer and then back to the client.
All right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
It will be the same working days even if the client have ordered a bespoke, for example, a bespoke design.
It would, yeah. But that's likely, it could just take more likely up to the 3 working days. So I reckon there'll be some tweaking that needs to go on if it's bespoke. On the pre-designed, it's usually very little because we've got the designs ready to go and we're usually happy with them. So it's usually when you have to go backwards and forwards, you get closer to 3 days. Usually if it's pre-designed, they can usually turn around really quickly because if we don't have any tweaks, we can get it straight back to the client.
Okay. All right. Noted. Okay.
Yeah. Did you have any other questions about that?
I think I will check the email templates that you have from here. So if I have a question, maybe I could put in Slack. Okay, for now I
Yeah,
don't have
absolutely.
any.
Yeah, because you're probably going to come up across things as soon as you start getting an order and stuff to process. That's when the questions are likely to come out. So just bob it in Slack and I'll get back to you as soon as I can with it.
Okay.
Okay. Right, so Janinka orders with her now. We've got Sherit and you're going to do an email template, an email draft today, sorry. Then we've just got to see before and afters, review orders. Oh yeah, the other thing I was going to say is, as a bit of a task, you could have a look at the last couple of orders we've done, which are in progress in our virtual staging folder on Google Drive.
Okay. Google
So if you had a look at Aaron, Kat, and Chris, you can have a look at the before pictures the requirements document we've put together, and then the after photo, so you can get a feel of how it all worked.
Okay, again, which folder?
So it's in virtual staging and in progress.
Then, it's Aaron Hui. Is that correct? Ban on
I'm not
T.
even sure how you pronounce it.
Okay, what's the correct pronunciation?
Aaron Huey. I'm gonna go with Huey.
Aaron Yue.
Huey.
Okay. All right. Yue.
Yeah, Cat Settle and then Chris.
Yeah.
So we can,
Okay, I saw his folder already. Okay, I'm already on it. Okay.
yeah, so these are all we've already completed these, but I've left them in progress for now because I just thought it would be good for you to have a look at
Mm-hmm.
how we processed it from like the design requirements documents side of things. So you can see the before shot, the design requirements, and then you can see how they actually turned out. So you can sort of see the instructions we have to give them to get that end result.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, where's in progress? So for example, this one is still, I've got to make a change on that one, which I've already sent to the designer. So that's with them at the moment, but you can have a look at these before shots down here, the requirements document, which mine's quite messy usually because I've been rushing, but you might be able to neaten it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, best me. Yeah, so you can have a little look at this, how we position things, the instructions we give, and then you can go back and compare it with the end results at the top. So do you want to have a look at those 3 different orders when you get 5 minutes? It doesn't have to be today, but you could just do it this week in one of your hour slots.
Yes, yes. Okay, sure. I will first check this one. All right. This and column. So basically, for example, this one from Iran, the accessories, the one you highlighted on the picture, this instruction basically came from the client or it came from you?
It came from me. It's a bit of both. Like usually the client will. Have you had a look at the pre-designed option and how it works with the drop downs?
Yeah, yeah, I already checked it. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So we pre-designed, the design's pretty much there anyway. But for example, with this one, the client, if you look at the Shopify order, so they did order through the website, you can look at it, I've fulfilled it, but you can have a look back at it. If you look on there, for each image, they've added a comment against it to ask for something specific. So they've actually said, could we have this room, but could we actually have the shelf from this other design? So we've incorporated 2. And then, for example, like the living room, if I can find it, there were some items on the shelves, but they gave a different design for what they wanted in there. So I said, can I have this living room, but can I have the accessories from this design as well? So sometimes I go down to the specifics and have a very specific idea of what they want to see. Other people will just be like, I want a Scandinavian living room. And then you have to go away and make it. So we could either pick it from pre-design if that's what they've chosen, or if we wanted to do anything that's not in the wanting something bespoke, we have to go through and pick out the like Scandi items and then tell the
Okay. Hello?
yeah.
All
Can you
right.
hear me?
Yes.
So does that make sense? It just
Yes.
depends a little bit basically on how much information they've given you. They could basically give you very minimal or they could give you everything you need. So some people want it hands off and some people don't want to be involved at all. And then other people want to know absolutely everything. So you have to just play it by ear with each individual order and just tailor it to what they want basically.
Okay. So this document that you open is what we call the requirements, right?
Yeah.
This basically this one is the photos was based on the order of the client. But the one you put in Doodle on usual process, you will be adding those kind of sketches on senior review, paste, right? Or can
No, so you would do all of that. And then I would
okay.
just go through and just
And
say,
check.
am I happy with it?
All right.
I'll just go through and sense check it to see if I'm happy with how it's been designed. If there's any tweaks, I can let you know.
Okay, that all right. No.
So what it actually looks like, if we go, so in progress, we've got all the orders there. We've got these documents underneath. We've got the amendments one here. We've got a requirements one. So I would always just this is like a master copy, basically. I would make a copy of that
Mm-mm.
and then drag the copy into the folder of the new order. So when you actually open the requirements document, it is just a blank page.
Okay.
And then you can update the headings with the like these blue headings here, I would rename to the name of the photograph. So then the design knows this photograph here has all these instructions to go with it.
Okay.
And then you can work through it. So at the bottom, we've got loads of different blinds that we typically use. So you just just copy and paste those, but delete them out afterwards at the end.
All right.
Only on the copy, obviously not on the master. I'm just going to make a couple of changes to that bathroom one. Actually, I need to do a couple of little bits and pieces on that. But yeah, basically, it's just an empty document, and you just have to fill it up based on what the order is.
Okay.
So the other thing I wanted to just talk to you today about is we will have to work on the social calendar. So I just need to get some posts in. So I know you haven't got much, you've only got an hour today, haven't you? So you've got like another 15, 20 minutes after this. But over the next 3 days, you could use some of that time to start helping me with the social calendar. So if you're on Clickup, go to social calendar, and I was looking calendar view. All the yellow ones are the ones I've posted and are done and dusted, so you don't need to think about those. But what I need help with is some of these grey ones.
All right.
So I've assigned them to you, and I've added some information on what I was after. I think this one, I'm sure I added some photographs to it. I'm not sure if I've saved. Oh yeah, I've added some photographs at the bottom, so you can make a before and after shot out of
Okay.
it. So it's probably going to be like a carousel on this one. So do the before shot first, and then swipe, and then you can do the after shot.
Okay. So this one will be uploaded on the virtual staging Instagram account, right?
No, so the way I do it, because the virtual stages account has very little followers, I always post it on mine. But before I post, I invite the collaborator as the virtual stages.
All right. Okay. So
So
if
you basically tag a person and it says invite collaborator, and you'll type the virtual stages in. And then that means it'll post on my page, and once the virtual stages have approved it, it will then appear on their page as well. So we get to do both pages at once.
okay. I will check on that.
But equally, do remember that this is my property page and virtual staging. So this is an actual property that I own. It's not virtual staging. So this one doesn't need to be invited by the virtual stages because this isn't virtual staging.
Okay. Okay, before I upload collaborators, before I upload anything, maybe I could also send it to you on Slack so you could approve and the captions
Well,
as well.
the way that we do it is so on here, if you then change it to, if you're working on it, put it in progress. Once you're happy with it, if you put it to blue, so for Laura to check and let me know there's some stuff to approve in here, you can add in the comments if you've got any questions. So for example, is it virtual staging? Virtual. I can then come in and leave a comment back saying, no, it's my property page. Don't tag the virtual stages in. And then once I'm happy with it, I'll either add some tweaks in where I could say, oh, could you just amend this, or could you write that a bit different? And then once I'm happy with it, I'll put it to approved.
All right.
And
Okay.
then you'll know you can then schedule it into it. So the days that these are in the diary are the days that I want them to be posted. So we need to be working ahead of time. So this one, am I working a week behind? I think my calendar's a week behind. One sec. No, it's on the 20th. Oh, that's the date. Oh, yeah, so due date Thursday. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong field. So can we just be mindful that if we've got that coming up on Thursday, we really need to get it approved by tomorrow, because then we can schedule it so it goes out Thursday morning. And I always schedule them to go out first thing, so I get most interaction when it's on my page all day. So I'd usually get it have them to be scheduled for like 7 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Okay. Thursday morning, right? British
Yes.
time.
Yeah, exactly. So these are all basically, this is a calendar of everything that's coming up. So today a dummy order went out, the reel. So Thursday I want a before and after. Friday I want an update. Saturday about the book I'm reading, blah blah blah. If you see anything in blue, that's for me to sort out. So don't worry about those days. You just focus on these grey ones, which are assigned to you. And I've tried to put notes in them all,
Oh, okay, sure.
so you've
By
got some stuff to go off.
Okay, so maybe regarding the post that will be posted on Thursday, I will be drafting out by tomorrow for you to check.
Yeah. So if you could use some of your time tomorrow to start going through some of these posts, just have a look. And when you're reading it, if you're not sure, just drop me a message on Slack. But what you'll find is that we start doing a very similar post each week. So we might do a before and after shot of a static image. We might do a quote. We might do a virtual staging reel. Those kind of things. They start sort of being repetitive, but just different content. So you'll get a feel of how we speak and what to put into them.
Okay.
The other one, sorry. So I think those ones are mostly posts.
Yeah, so Monday,
But we do have some reels. So every Tuesday,
so Tuesday will
I
be
usually put
reels.
reel, and like I'll just pick one of the recent orders. So for example, I've just picked Chris for next week. So if you could use Chris's photos to create a reel. But what I'd like to do is audio options to options. I'm very particular when it comes to the audio. I want it to be stuff that's like quite catchy, quite beaty, so the images can swap on the different beats.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can get stuff where they're speaking, but it sounds really relevant to what we're doing. Like it might talk about like, there's one that was like a song, but it was like looking at my PIC, which is like looking at my picture. I can see you looking at my PIC, so that made sense for virtual stage. It's like, oh, I can see you looking at my designs and my house and stuff. Other times we'll just put a really catchy tune that's sort of trending.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'd like to do is, before you do the real one, can you send me quite a few options on Messenger of just the audios, and then we can pick which one we want to go with for that reel.
Okay, so that will be my assignment this week as well. Or every week
Yeah,
to send you some IG Reels audio or audio that
yeah,
can be used on Reels.
yeah. And it could be that you send me 10 tomorrow and I like 5 of them, and then for the next 5 weeks you've got 5 audios to use. It just depends.
All right, okay.
So yeah, if you could just do that for me as well. But basically, we just need to keep ahead of this. So this week, I'd like to just try and get through and just try and get a week ahead of us. So we're not like constantly chasing our tail with this, because like I feel like I'm just like we're coming up and we've got no content to post. So if we could just get a few days ahead this week and then try and then meet the other ones later on down the line.
Okay.
So does that make sense?
Yes.
Brilliant. We've only got a few minutes left, so that's the task for today. Is if you could just have a quick look over those design requirements. If you could get me a draft for Zurich Patel and add them to the board so we can monitor it. And then for the rest of the week, just keep familiarizing yourself. But if you could spend some time trying to get some drafts on the social board for me and just let me know when there's some to review and I'll have a little look at them for you. But we definitely need the Thursday's one ready tomorrow, by tomorrow.
Okay.
So it's ready to schedule in. So if you could just be mindful of that. But have you got any other questions or anything?
I don't have any questions for now. Yes.
Okay. Brilliant. Well, you've got me on Slack, so if you do think of anything, just drop a message on there and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can.
Okay, so my first task after this is the email for Patel, right?
Yes, please. Yeah. We need to just, because if we try and keep to the SLAs, I do like to. So, for example, if you're using an hour a day and you log in on a morning and you have like half an hour, and there's no really, well, it depends how you want to work your day, really. But ideally, I like it to be where you can check the emails maybe twice a day. So it could be that you just log on and spend 5 minutes just checking the emails. If there isn't anything, you could just say, oh, I'll spend my other 55 minutes later on doing some socials and rechecking the emails in the afternoon. But if you could maybe just do it so you are checking it maybe twice a day, the emails. So first thing in the morning, then a little bit on the afternoon, just so we can make sure. And equally, that would also make sense because if we do have an order with a designer, if you say look first thing in the morning, and we get the stuff from the designer, like say in an hour's time. If you only check the emails once a day, that means that design isn't going to get amended until the following day, and then it's not going to get to the client till the following day after that. So not checking the emails and knowing where the orders are just puts us out if we don't check it a couple of times a day.
Yes, sure.
Is that okay? Brilliant. Okay, well, I think that was everything, really. I think that's enough to get you started and just sort of ease you into things. So just give me a shout if you do need anything. Other than that, I'll let you get off.
All right. I have a questions, I will just inform you from Slack.
Perfect. That's great. Enjoy the rest of your day anyway.
Enjoy your
See
day,
you
Laura.
later.
See you
Bye.
later.